Welcome to Adventures Math and Science 1. I'm going to go through the FoxTALE site and kind of discuss the format of the class. At the top, you'll see the syllabus. And it says revised because I obviously needed to revise it a few times due to circumstances outside of our control. Okay, so I downloaded the revised syllabus. I really think you should take time to go through the syllabus. But at the end of the syllabus, there are a couple important things. One is you'll see that there's modules. And so it says Module 1, the goals. I think this is important to understand like why I'm having you do those things. And then the readings, these are the readings associated with each module. And then these are the assignments with the due date. So you have these two things due by our first Zoom session, which are an introduction assignment where you write a paragraph about your relationship with math and you draw a couple drawings like what does teaching math look like to you, and then you read this article and kind of do this discussion forum there. Okay, Module 2. And you'll see there's a Zoom session associated with it. And my thought would be during our Zoom session, we would talk about these things, which is normally I have really well thought out in-class activities, and I'm going to try my best to kind of replicate that in a Zoom session environment. I'm sure that there will be some limitations, but I hope it's still engaging. And so you'll see again the goals. And this says readings here. And so these readings, the thought would be that you would finish them prior to the Zoom session, because I think that will allow you to participate the best. But because of the way the class is structured, if you don't finish all the readings prior to the Zoom session, it's okay. But the thought would be that you would finish it during this module at some time. So for example, if you read Taking Action, chapters 1 and 2, you're going to be able to engage in this conversation around ambitious teaching in math and science much better than if you hadn't participated in it. But if you don't finish it on time, there's really no consequence. But you'll see here also at the top of the FoxTALE site, there are 2 reading guides. And this is how I'm going to assess what you're reading. So each of these is a reading guide associated with one of the math books, CGI and Taking Action. And if you download it, you'll see there's little questions that it asks you to address based on the reading. So no matter what, you need to do the reading, but obviously it would be nice to have it before our Zoom sessions. Speaking of Zoom sessions, here they are listed. You'll see normally we were supposed to have class on Tuesday from 6 to 10 p.m. and here our Zoom session is from 6 to 8 p.m. My thought in the reduced time is that it's hard to be on a video chat for 4 hours. It's much different than moving around and interacting with people. My second thought would be that you can use the extra time here that is allotted for class, so when this ends at 8 p.m., my thought would be that you would continue working until 10 p.m. Because that's time you have carved out for the class, and learning how to take a class online is going to take extra work, right? So my thought about that is you would have that kind of space allotted. And the same goes for the Saturday class. You'll see we actually had 2 Saturday classes scheduled, but you'll see I just have one Saturday Zoom session. One, I only have the Zoom session for 3 hours because, again, I think 8 hours long from 8 to 5 would just be too long. But the thought would be still that you carve out those spaces of time. So I do have the same amount of expectations for you to do, just so you'll be able to self-pace that work at home. How do you join a Zoom session? Well, there's 2 ways. The first would be go to the Zoom website and type this meeting number in, and the second way is to copy and paste this URL in your browser. This is my universal meeting code, and my other classes I've given different URLs to, but you have the universal one since we'll be meeting so often. So that means anytime you put this in, you'll pop into my Zoom. So if you were to pop in, let's say at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday, you would actually probably pop into my Math 211 or 212 class. So, okay. So you'll see that I have these modules, and this one is, it started the 16th. Hopefully you're already completed with this work. And again, it's only 2 assignments. And I think it's all pretty intuitive what you need to do there. And the thought would be that would be completed before our Zoom session on the 31st. Okay, so let's look at our second module. So we'll Zoom together on Tuesday, March 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. What I have listed here: introduction, discussion, Common Core mathematical practice, next generation, science standards. What I wish I would have wrote there is next generation, science and engineering practices. I should go ahead and fix that. Ambitious teaching in math and science. So these are the 4 main topics, and I'm hoping to make it activity-based even though we're online. I've taught this class for 5 years, so I have a lot of experience in making this hands-on, and I've taught online classes a lot in the master's program, but I haven't taught this class online. So there's a little bit of a learning curve, but I think we'll figure it out together well. When I have the readings here, this is what I hope you would read prior to the class session. These two, the mathematical practices and engineering practices, these are just a list of 8 things, and I'll give you time during the Zoom session to look at them. So really, your only task before this module is to read the Taking Action chapters 1 and 2. I'm going to create a section on FoxTALE for each Zoom session that says materials for Zoom session. I hope to screen share, but just in case you're having a hard time, these will be all the things that I will show during the Zoom session, so you have them available digitally. And these are either assignments or assignments that are due in this module time. So you'll see that I ask you to take this online class from Stanford, which is about how to learn math. And what I really like about it is that it is intended actually for children to kind of reevaluate how they learn math at schools, because a lot of times people think it's super procedural and it's just about getting the right answer, and this online class really challenges this. So this could be something you use in your own class and ask your own children to take. And you get a certificate when you complete it, and I ask you to upload it here. I have heard from a couple people in emails that you took this class online in your Math 211 class or something like this, and that's so exciting to hear that that professor thought it was valuable as well. And so if you still have that certificate, you can just upload it here. I'm not asking you to retake it. All right. And then shortly thereafter is Module 3, which is the Saturday class. And I'll talk more about that on Saturday, because I do have some kind of expectations about how you'll do things on Saturday. But one thing you can do if you're curious about due dates, I do have it listed in the syllabus, but the other thing I'm pretty sure you can do is just like click on this How to Learn Math class, for example, and it says it's due Sunday, April 5th by midnight. And I think I did that because I was thinking with the Saturday class, that would allow you time to build this in. We're only Skyping from 9 to noon, and we're supposed to meet until 5 p.m. So you could build in some time on your Saturday to do this as well. but you do have some other tasks to do on Saturday, so it'll be up to you how you want to budget your time. All right, hopefully that's a good introduction to your FoxTALE site, and I will continue to communicate with you and answer any questions you have. Blessings.